George, you have such a storied career. I feel like we could do an entire docuseries just on you. So we'll try to encapsulate, maybe if we can just talk about your background and experience, maybe the highlights that got you doing what you're doing today.
Well, I've been a writer, written 20 books. I've became Ronald Reagan's most quoted living author with Wealth and Poverty, which was a book that reformulated the case for capitalism and the supply side vision. Mm-hmm. After Wealth and Poverty sold millions of copies around the world, was the #1 book in France for 6 months, and had Samsi editions in Russia and China. I figured I'd covered economics and plunged into technology. And I saw that the microchip was the most important invention of this era. And I've devoted my life to learning the physics of microchips. I went to Caltech, not as a student, but as a visitor and inquirer and follower of Carver Mead, the great microchip philosopher of Caltech, mm-hmm. who both researched and named Moore's law, which is sort of the law that has governed the whole evolution of microchips and computing ever since. The doubling of computer power every year.
Right.
So I predicted in 1990 that the key computer of the future would be as portable as your watch, as personal as your wallet. It would recognize speech. It would navigate streets. It would collect your news and your mail, maybe your paycheck. Might not do Windows. I did that for a Microsoft audience, but it would do doors, open doors to your future. And I've become known as a technology futurist. But I began writing about sex back in my youth. I became Pig of the Year. That's my proudest achievement.
The male chauvinist Pig of the Year?
Yeah. The National Organization of Women and Time magazine, they all piled in and said I was Pig of the Year. And so my family gave me a little golden pig. I retired the trophy. Because I had so much fun being Pig of the Year that no one ever awards any Pigs of the Year anymore. I retired it, so I'm the reigning Pig of the Year
forever.
Forever.
So you went to Harvard some years ago. What did you study? Did you think you'd be doing?
I flunked out of Harvard. I went into the Marine Corps, came back. I finished at Harvard. My tutor was Henry Kissinger. And I really studied strategy, mm-hmm. and I didn't do well at all. I can't really focus on more than one thing at a time. And Harvard has the idea you're supposed to be taking 5 or 6 courses, and I couldn't do it. I ran track. Mm-hmm. I did write a major paper though on quantitative and qualitative arms races. Which I showed everybody wanted to ban nuclear weapons or ban this or that. And I pointed out that technological arms races favor free people and invention. Quantitative arms races, which is what happens if you ban all technological progress, mm-hmm. means mobilizing more and more of the resources and people of the country and really impoverishing the country to some climactic outcome of war or an invasion. So I felt that qualitative arms races competing in human creativity and invention was a positive thing, and that quantitative arms races is what you had to fear, where pretty soon you have garrison states facing off against each other with nothing to do but fight. Yeah. So I really was proud of that paper, and it really foreshadowed all the rest of my career, which has been focusing on technological creativity.
So I think even back then, it was about tech, because that's really a technological insight when you're looking at qualitative versus quantitative arms races, right? And do you see technology as this kind of inevitability, as far as, there's no way to really try to harness or control it? It's on its own.
No, I don't see it as an inevitability.
So how do you see that?
It's human. It's a product of human creativity, and humans can forget. I like the story of when I used to write about sex. I used to like Margaret Mead's story about the anthropologist, about the warriors of the Andaman Islands, or one of those islands, the Polynesian tribes that learned how to make these wonderful kayaks that allowed them to rule all of seas and bring in huge harvests of fish and be really the dominant force. And at some point they forgot how to make their kayaks. And when Margaret Mead visited them, they were sort of these former warriors looking forlornly out at the water, and in the process of going extinct, because they forgot their key mission in the world and the key secret of their survival and success. And we're doing that now. We're perfectly possible to forego technology. There've been dark ages throughout the history of the human race, and most of the ages were dark, to tell the truth. It wasn't until an amazing burst of luminosity at the time of the Industrial Revolution that the human race really learned how to create wealth in an enduring and successful way. So no, technology is not inevitable. It is something that has to be created, and that requires free societies.
And I was just about to say, so the threat would be, because I'm assuming based on what you're saying that you're a big fan of technology and what it's going to do for humanity.
Well, it's what we do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what it does for humanity is part of it, but it's human beings are made to be creative in the image of their creator, and that's the source of all these technologies. The great sort of heresy of the contemporary era is the idea that everything is sort of random and happens inevitably as a result of some evolutionary principle that's never been fully expounded or explained. And it's an idea of a random universe creating us. And when scientists recognized that a random universe would not create the complexity of human life, they then imagined infinite numbers of random universes, and one of them, just as a matter of accident, would produce us, and naturally we're the ones who are testifying, so we're in the universe that produced us. And I think this whole random model is quite obtuse, and it doesn't explain anything, but it is demoralizing.
Yeah.
And it diminishes all our achievements, and it diminishes technology, and I think it's wrong.
I couldn't agree with you more on that, and I think it's almost a cop-out. They don't want to face certain obvious realities in order to draw those types of conclusions. Thanks so much for being here and watching that video. And can I ask you to please subscribe to our channel so you can find out when we're posting new content. You'll be alerted right away when we do. To share this with people you think might benefit from the information, and certainly it helps us if you like the video. So if you like what you just saw, go ahead and hit that like button. And again, thank you so much for being here with me right now.